Professor Lord Mensah is a senior financial economist with the University of Ghana Business School. He's joining us for a conversation. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. So, how realistic are the demands of the worker groups amid the current challenges confronting the economy?
Yeah, good afternoon and good afternoon to our viewers. Clearly, it is rational. And once prices are going up, you expect that this reaction will come from the labor front. And these are all reflections of, standard of living being difficult in the Ghanaian environment.
Right.
And so for me, yes, as to whether it is realistic or not, is a demand that will come from every rational, consumer. Because once you purchase, a product and you go to the market the next time and the prices are going up, obviously, it will not match up with your salary. And it seems to come to reduce disposable income of every household. And so we should expect these agitations from the labor front. And it's not something that I'm surprised at all. But we ask ourselves, what would the government do at this time? I mean, in times like this. I think these are things that we've been talking about every now and then. I think if exchange rate is going up and prices are going up, we should look at the products that we can easily produce in our environment, and our policy should reorient, towards that. Okay. We had, this agriculture policy that we're rolling out, which every now and then our minister comes to talk about it, boast about food prices coming down here and there. But if you go to the market, that is not, the case. And so every rational worker would demand a pay increase. But it's unfortunate when, negotiations are going on, instead of the government to take the bull by the horn and look at a single spine and increase salaries across board, government try to engage, labor individually. And it turns up that anytime they go, they couch something for them and something that will suit their profession. So, for instance, one that we're talking about on the market now is the neutrality allowance.
Right.
For me, it's a pay increase. It's not, what do we call it? It's just unfortunate they didn't get the name right. To say neutrality allowance for close-out, workers. Because if you talk about neutrality, for every environment that, work is going on, we should expect neutrality for effective output. When you come to the teaching environment at the University of Ghana, if you don't exhibit that neutrality, there's no way, you can produce as expected. So effectively, I would say that that name was wrong, but in effect, it was a pay increase. We all know that the pay is not good. And if the pay is not good, we should be bold enough and take the bull by the horn, index salary, at least the single spine that we adapted, the basic salary, should be indexed to inflation increase, inflation numbers, so that anytime prices are going up, it can reflect in salary. But enough also, we need to note that the unfortunate thing that we need to understand is that, the price increase has a speculative drive, which sometimes it becomes a problem. So for you to index, the salary to price increase will also be somehow, a kind of a problem. But I think we should take the bull by the horn, structure the salaries, because if you take a typical government worker's pay slip, you realize that chunk of the pay is in allowances.
Great.
And allowances, I can tell you, they are not sustainable. Any government can come in at any point in time and say, I've cancelled all this allowance when we are facing hardship. So when it comes to negotiations, we should touch on the basic salary. We should index it to the inflation rate, so that we can all be comfortable to avoid all these unnecessary agitations here and there.
Prof, before I let you go, government finds itself in a very tight position. I mean, it has said that the economic crunch is having an impact across continents and, in fact, across countries, in the world. But how should government deal with this without, one, slipping the country to a labor unrest or degeneration where all the labor unions are either going on strike or withdrawing their services?